Good day, Mr. Martinez. I am Luzzalyn Nera. My groupmates and I were assigned to discuss the noun phrases. On this video, we are going to tackle the definition, functions, importance, and components of noun phrases. Please keep on watching. First of all, let's define a noun and a phrase. Noun was from Latin word nomen, literally means name. Noun is a single word that can be a name of a person, place, thing, or idea. While praise was from the Greek word praises, means declare. Praise is a small group of words that add meaning to a sentence. It is not a sentence because it is not a complete idea with a subject, verb, and predicate. What is noun praise? A noun praise is a small group of words in a sentence that acts like a noun, which consists of a head and a modifier that makes the noun more specific. For example, when we say man, which is a noun, it can refer to any man in general. But when we say the funny man in red, it means we are making the noun man more specific. Similarly, when we say bag, it can refer to any bag in the world. But when we add something to modify the noun bag, such as the black leather bag, then we are making the bag more specific. Whatever we have added to modify the noun bag is called a modifier. Noun plus modifier is equals to noun praise. As just mentioned, in a noun praise, noun or pronoun is the head, while modifiers are any dependent words before or after the head. In a noun praise, a noun is a must. It is a mandatory part of it, and it can have different kinds of pre-modifiers and post-modifiers. Now, we're going to look in more detail at exactly which kinds of things can go in which place in a noun praise. Noun praises basically follow the general structure for praises: a mandatory head, optional pre-modifiers, and post-modifiers. Pre-modifiers and post-modifiers are dependent words that give more specific detail to the head. Pre-modifiers usually an adjective or an adjective praise, and post-modifier can be a prepositional phrase or relative clause. But noun phrases can have an additional element in them which we don't find in any other kinds of phrases: a determiner. For example, our friends have bought a house in the village. In this sentence, our is a determiner and friends is a noun, and both together is a noun praise. If the noun praise has a determiner, it is always the first word. For example, we have to say the small house, not small the house or small house the. Please remember that there is only one slot for a determiner. We can't say the house, her that house, or the those house. But there is an exception. It is possible to have two determiner if one of them is a quantifier. For example, in this sentence, those 4 houses are very expensive. Here, those is a determiner. 4 is also a determiner but a quantifier, and houses is the noun. Instead of using a word as a noun in a sentence, we use some other words to expand it and to make it more specific. Now, how can we identify a noun phrase in a sentence? Let's have another example. The mysterious woman sat down on the floor. Woman on its own is the noun. But as I've said earlier, noun praise is a group of words that acts as the noun in the sentence. So one noun praise in this sentence is the mysterious woman. Instead of just using a noun woman, we are using a group of words which together acts as a noun. By the way, there is another noun praise in this sentence: the floor. Yes, a noun praise really can be that short. Remember, when you are trying to find the noun praise, first identify the noun, then think which other words expanding it. is a group of words that appear to stick to the noun and almost become part of it. Or think of it this way, which group of words in the sentence could you use to label a picture of the noun? Ready to try? Let's have another example. I look at the small pretty girl. We could label the picture with a single word, girl. But which group of words would work equally well as a label for the picture? What is the noun phrase in this sentence? The small pretty girl. The girl was expanded to the small pretty girl.
Good day, I am Rachelle May, Cabalquito, and I'm from BSED 11A. So today we're going to tackle about the functions of noun phrases. So let's start. The first function of noun phrases is noun phrase head. So when we say noun phrase head, it consists of a noun, including pronoun, plus determiners, modifiers, and complements. Most likely, when we say noun phrase head, it consists of a noun, including pronoun. Just like my example, the first example is the big blue ball. So, which you can see, the word ball is highlighted because it is the noun in the sentence. Second one, someone to love. You can see the word someone is highlighted because it is the noun here. And the third example is an old woman who lived in a shoe because the woman is the subject or the noun in the sentence. The second function is subjects. When we say subjects, a word, phrase, or clause that performs the action of arts upon the verb. And the examples are, the baby cried, the dog barked. The first example, the word baby is highlighted because it refers to the subject. The subject is the baby and it performs the verb, which is cried, as well as the dog barked. The dog is the subject and the bark is the verb. The third function, subject complements. A word, phrase, or clause that follows a copular or linking verb and describes the subject of a clause. Its examples are, my grandmother is a farmer. The woman whom you are looking for is she. So, the word farmer is highlighted because it also refers to a subject, because the first sentence you can see my grandmother is also a subject, as well as the farmer is also a subject. Next, the next function is direct objects. When we say direct objects, word, phrase, or clause that follows a transitive verb and answers the question who or what receives the action of the verb. Example, the children ate all the cookies. So, you can see the word all the cookies. It answers the question who, because the children are the one who ate all the cookies. As well as the second example, my professor recommended an extremely captivating book. It also answers the question who, because the professor was the one who recommends the book. Next function, object complements. Defined as nouns, pronouns, noun phrases, adjectives, and adjective phrases that directly follows and modify the direct object. The example, we consider our puppy our baby. Second, my aunt calls my uncle sweetheart. It follows or directly follow and modify the direct object. Next, the indirect object. You can see word, phrase, or clause that indicates to or for whom or what the action of a distransitive verb is performed, meaning there is a receiver of an action. So here is my example. My husband bought me flowers. So the husband was the one who bought flowers, which also made the action, and me is the receiver of the action. So the sentence, you can see that there was a receiver of a certain action. So I have here also the children drew his mother a picture. So the children was the one who made an action and his mother was the receiver of the action. The next function is prepositional complements. When we say prepositional complements, word, phrase, or clause that directly follows a preposition and completes the meaning of the prepositional phrase. So, always remember that prepositional complements directly follows a preposition. So, I have here the example. My husband brought flowers for me. The students studied during their spring break. Next, noun phrase modifiers. When we say noun phrase modifiers, word, phrase, or clause that modifies or describes a noun, including a pronoun or a noun phrase. So, the noun or there are some clauses or phrase that modifies or describes a certain noun. So, I have here the example. The child actor won an award. Second, we reserved 20 hotel rooms. Next, determinatives. Provide information such as familiarity, location, quantity, and possessive numbers. And when we say determinatives, it includes possessive nouns. When we say possessive nouns, these are the noun, pronoun, or noun phrase, and the possessive clitic. And along with the possessive noun is the apostrophe s. And apostrophe s is also functions as determinatives. So possessive nouns indicate possession or some other relationship to another noun or pronoun. Example, my brother's apartment is small. You can see the word brother is the noun there. So it is together with the s or apostrophe s rather, which it implies the determinatives or it implies possessiveness. Next is the appositives. Word, phrase, or clause that modifies or explains another noun phrase. Example, my grandfather, the farmer, bought more farmland. Next, the teacher, my uncle, assigned a lot of homework. You can see the word the grandfather. The grandfather is the first subject and it also explains by the word the farmer. And the last but not the least, adjunct adverbials. Word, phrase, or clause that modifies an entire clause by providing additional information about time, place, manner, condition, purpose, reason, result, and concession. The example, today the children woke up. We can say the sentence, the children woke up. But in adjunct adverbials, it added the word today, which refers to the time. Another example, yesterday the children slept in late. We can construct a sentence as simple as, the children slept in late. But in adjunct adverbials, it added the word yesterday, which also refers to the time. So, those are the 11 functions of noun phrases. I hope this discussion informed you about the informations about noun phrases. That's all. Thank you.